Some people said they wanted to break the Warriors' 73-win record. Others said they wanted to win a championship while still landing the #1 pick. Some even said the NBA was trying to build them into the league's next dynasty. But when the Spurs beat the Thunder 3 times in 13 days, and the league's top team, once 24-1 to start the season, swallowed its 5th loss, we suddenly realized something. The once invincible defending champs had finally met their kryptonite. Losing once can be bad luck. Losing twice might be coincidence. But losing 3 straight? That's a real gap in ability. So what kind of team can take down a Thunder squad that started the season 24-1, 3 times in a row? The answer is the San Antonio Spurs, an even younger, even more talented team than OKC. Last night's year-end matchup in Oklahoma City was supposed to be a revenge game. Instead, it turned into a massacre. Before this game, the Thunder had already lost twice to the Spurs, making San Antonio the only team this season to beat OKC multiple times. Anyone who watched these games closely could see it. The Spurs have clearly figured out the Thunder's weakness. Their defense looks like a carefully woven net, packing the paint, locking down the rim, and deliberately pushing Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams away from their comfort zone near the free throw line. Shai relies heavily on mid-range scoring, but he doesn't have the same off-the-dribble three-point threat. And roster-wise, the Spurs are a nightmare matchup for OKC. The moment Shai drives, San Antonio collapses inside, while their perimeter defenders slide quickly enough to recover. That kind of size and pressure at the rim doesn't just test Shai's vision and passing timing, it forces the Thunder shooters to step up and carry the load. But shooting threes has never really been OKC's strength. Yes, their three-point percentage ranks 6th in the league, but it's wildly inconsistent, and overall they're just a middle-of-the-pack shooting team. After hitting 4 threes last night, the Thunder went ice cold, finishing just 7-for-40 from deep the rest of the game, and that was one of the biggest reasons they lost. One loss can be chalked up to randomness. 2 losses can be blamed on form. 3 losses? That's a clear talent gap. The reason the Spurs keep neutralizing OKC's core is simple. They're basically a full upgrade across the board. The Thunder's signature physical, aggressive style just doesn't work against San Antonio. The Spurs have just as many capable ball handlers, and they're even younger and faster than OKC. To make matters worse, injuries have started to pile up for the Thunder. J. Mitchell, who started the season on fire, missed both recent games against the Spurs. Jalen Williams returned, but his form never really came back, and the moment Shai sits, the Thunder's offense completely stalls, everything turns chaotic, and they simply can't withstand San Antonio's constant pressure. With a 3-guard lineup of Castle, Fox, and Harper, the Spurs completely dismantled the Thunder in this game. Their trademark perimeter pressure shut down OKC's transition offense, forcing the Thunder to abandon their fast-paced scoring and grind through half-court possessions instead. With Wembanyama anchoring the paint, the rim became a no-fly zone. Shai felt that pressure more than anyone. He attempted just 4 shots at the rim, lost his rhythm from mid-range and deep, and finished 7-for-19 from the field. What's even more telling is that Wembanyama only recorded 1 block tonight, and had 0 blocks in the previous game against OKC. That doesn't mean he wasn't dominant. It proves just how terrifying his rim protection is. Opponents are already intimidated by his presence and simply don't dare attack the basket. The Thunder's usual formula, tight perimeter defense paired with Chet Holmgren roaming inside, completely fell apart against the Spurs. Especially when Chet matched up with Wembanyama, he clearly struggled, scoring just 17 points total across the last 2 games. At this point, the gap between these 2 big men is obvious. Of course, there's no denying it, the Thunder are still one of the best teams in the league. Until a champion is dethroned, they're still the champs. But even this powerhouse has finally run into a real problem, a team that can truly go toe-to-toe with them in a series. When these two teams meet again in 2026, the result could be massive, possibly even determining whether OKC makes roster changes before the trade deadline. As for the Spurs, their scariness goes far beyond just having Wembanyama. The real key is that even with Wembanyama as the centerpiece, the entire team plays fluid, connected, team basketball. That chemistry and structure feel eerily similar to the Spurs of old. Before running into San Antonio, many analysts believed no one could stop the Thunder this season. They were seen as legitimate threats to the Warriors' 73-win record and potential back-to-back champions. But the Spurs' rise has reminded OKC just how hard it is to dominate an entire long season. After being swept 3 times by San Antonio, the Thunder now sit at 26-5. If they want to break the Warriors' record, they'd need to go 48-3 the rest of the way. And here's the kicker, they still have 2 more games against the Spurs this season. Based on how these matchups have gone, a regular season sweep by San Antonio is very realistic. If that happens, chasing 73 wins is basically over. In reality, after losing this Christmas matchup, surpassing the Warriors is already nothing more than a mathematical fantasy. As the season drags on, every team hits a wall. The season isn't even halfway done, and the Thunder have already lost 5 games, 3 of them to the same opponent. That's a serious blow to team morale. Even Shai admitted after the game, clearly frustrated, that the Spurs know how to play, are incredibly talented, and do everything the right way. For a defending champion to lose 3 times to one team was something almost no one expected. Many analysts are now asking the same question: how did the Spurs turn into a title contender in just one season? Is it really just Wembanyama's once-in-a-generation talent? Anyone who's watched these recent matchups knows the answer is no. San Antonio didn't beat OKC 3 times because of one player, it was a full team effort. Since Fox returned healthy, the Spurs' chemistry has only gotten better. Their assist numbers and scoring averages keep climbing. More importantly, they've built a defensive system tailored specifically around Wembanyama, and that's the real reason they've owned the Thunder. From a roster standpoint, the Spurs also hold natural advantages. OKC's proud Twin Towers look helpless in front of Wembanyama. And when their vaunted wing defenders face San Antonio, it becomes clear that the Thunder, once praised for youth and talent, actually lose both battles. In terms of raw talent, the Spurs have Wembanyama, number 2 pick Harper, and last season's Rookie of the Year Castle. In terms of experience, they have De'Aaron Fox, who helped rebuild the Kings, and Harrison Barnes, who played a key role in the Warriors' dynasty. And behind it all is the Spurs' greatest constant, their culture. Even though Greg Popovich no longer coaches, the foundation he built over decades is still alive. The Spurs coaching staff continues to execute his philosophy to the letter. With chemistry improving by the game, San Antonio has clearly become one of the league's true championship contenders. Give Wembanyama a little more time, and there's every reason to believe the Spurs can bring their old glory days back to life.